Hello, I'm Lara Kılıçarslan and this is Newsfeed. As the year comes to a close, we're diving into the biggest issues and trends that shook up the digital world. This year, social media turned into a battlefield for narratives surrounding Gaza. Since October 7, 2023, it's been a lifeline for Palestinians and their supporters to share unfiltered realities. Graphic posts showing the realities of the war, bombings, casualties, and destruction have provided a raw and powerful counterpoint to mainstream media coverage. These vivid portrayals have exposed the world to the brutal impact of Israeli military actions and rallied international support for Palestinians.
Israel's war on Gaza has been called the world's first live-streamed genocide. That phrase is meant to imply that using their mobile phones, Palestinians have been able to record images of the kind of suffering that they've been enduring in order to show the world. So there have been thousands of videos taken by Palestinians of things like the impacts of Israeli bombardment, children being killed, unarmed civilians being shot in the street, the devastation and destruction of civilian infrastructure in Gaza by the Israeli army. And of course, all of that footage and all of those images have helped to bolster support for the pro-Palestinian cause. However, there are some people who haven't been moved by those images to show sympathy with the Palestinians. So particularly in Israel, the figures show that an overwhelming majority of the population actually support what the Israeli army is doing in Gaza. And those images haven't shifted their opinion. Many prominent Israeli politicians and journalists and Israeli soldiers have been sharing images that other people might describe as war crimes in order to show that Israel is winning, is beating, is punishing its opponents. They've been used to try and project an image of victory.
That's why many Israelis have been favoring censorship on social media, believing that certain content related to the war should be restricted. Sare has more on a Pew Research Center survey conducted between March and April.
About 3/4 of Israelis use social media. Despite high social media usage, most do not post or share about political or social issues online. Fewer than a quarter say they engage in these discussions, often or sometimes. When it comes to Israel's war on Gaza, sentiment for censorship is strong. Over half of Israeli adults believe that posts containing graphic content, those inciting violence or showing support for Hamas, should not be allowed. Even posts showing sympathy for Gazan civilians face scrutiny, with 59% of Israelis believing such content should be kept off social media. Furthermore, there is a split over posts criticizing the Israeli government's handling of the war. Half of Israelis support censorship of these posts.
There were also reports of Israeli authorities detaining Palestinians and imposing workplace and educational disciplinary measures for their social media activity related to the conflict. This trend highlighted the broader issue of censorship and suppression of Palestinian voices, with allegations that major social media platforms have been complicit in restricting content that supports Palestine or exposes Israeli actions. But when censorship tried to silence voices, activists fought back with creativity. AI-generated visuals became a powerful tool in this battle. Many used them to avoid censorship or shadow bans over Gaza. One standout effort was the All Eyes on Rafah campaign. It was spearheaded by Malaysian photographer Amirul Shah, blending innovation with advocacy. Using AI, he created digital visuals urging the world to focus on Gaza. They were widely shared through Instagram's Add Your sticker, quickly amassing millions of shares. But the campaign also sparked online debate. Some critics argued that real, raw, unfiltered images were essential to truly reflect the gravity of the situation in Gaza. In contrast, others noted its ability to bypass algorithmic censorship and reach millions quickly, raising awareness and sparking vital conversations. Back in May, the internet erupted with a pro-Palestine campaign that called for blocking silent celebrities and influencers amid Israel's actions in Gaza. The Operation Blockout gained momentum during the Met Gala, a night of opulence many compared to the Hunger Games, where the elite thrived while others suffered. This parallel hit hard as Gaza's Rafah endured ground operations.
Any celebrity that has refused to speak up about Palestine or has spoken up in support of the Israeli occupation is getting blocked. Celebrities do have power to influence. They have a cultural status that gives them the ability to reach millions of people on their platforms and be able to create change through them. Now, we especially see that when it comes to Palestine, when a lot of these celebrities have chosen to remain silent during a literal televised genocide. Some even going as far as to pay $75,000 for a Met Gala ticket while a literal ground invasion of Rafah began. And why did we choose blocking, not just unfollowing? Because when you simply unfollow someone, their content can still reach you, and that means that they can still make a profit or ad revenue off of your views or your engagement. So we decided that we're just going to block all of these celebrities and in turn block their ad revenue, meaning that I personally will not be paying your bills.
While critics dismissed it as performative activism, those behind the movement saw it as a powerful statement.
Our attention literally converts $2 for celebrities. That's how they make money. So blocking them is how we choose not to vote for them with our dollars. As far as non-material gains go, this takes power away from celebrity culture and restores it within the people. Don't think of this as being hateful towards people. Think of it as realizing the value of your attention and putting it in places where it should go for the betterment of humanity.
This year, Gen Z's unique language dominated conversations. Their playful phrases like brat and sus felt like a secret code to outsiders. Gen Z used their lingo confidently at work, online, and everywhere else. Social media amplified their influence, making their jargon a staple among netizens. But it did not stop there. Gen Z's persuasive power turned their language into a cultural trendsetter. A great example of this was the online marketing trend that swept across social media this year. It featured Gen Xers and baby boomers hilariously trying to use Gen Z slang. It was a playful, intergenerational hit that internet loved.
Hey, besties. Need to touch some grass after your brat girl's summer. Heave a castle? Understood the assignment. Pop off, Queen. My guy's Riz is fire.
Are you looking for a lit day out? See the hill? It's giving mountain. It's giving Ben Nevis.
See how people take phone calls in our phone booth? Very considerate, very mindful, very demure.
Hey besties, time to enter your artsy era. It's lit. She's giving grace, she's giving elegance.
Gen Z is the first generation born into the digital age. So obviously, we naturally adopted the internet as part of growing up, and social media was our playground. But lately, we've been enjoying retro items. And we're not just talking about fashion.
Hardcover books, flip phones, vinyl records, Tamagotchi, and more were in high demand through 2024. Gen Z feel love for the 1990s, a decade when even the oldest ones were only toddlers. Here's why.
We've always had cameras on our phones. We've always had internet access. We've always had social media. It's just we know nothing different. And so then we consume media and we hear stories from people who were raised completely differently in a different generation where they didn't have internet access at their fingertips. They weren't able to just take a photo and post it on social media. Like, you have to get it developed and you just don't have those same resources. And it's fascinating. I love film cameras. I love Polaroids. I love my flip phone. I love taking days off social media. Like, I love that stuff because it's so unlike the rest of the way that I've lived my life at all.
But the surge in retro items wasn't just due to a need for stability and mental wellness. Marketing strategies also played their part.
Here's Bratz, which launched in 2001, challenging Barbie's dominance with over $2 billion in sales in their first 5 years. Though sales dipped and declined, the brand engineered a glorious comeback. By balancing throwback content with current trends, Bratz appeals simultaneously to millennial collectors and Gen Z consumers.
While the reasons behind this nostalgia may vary, it appears Gen Z just can't resist millennial stuff. Millennials who they love to mock.
Now, onto something that the know-it-all Gen Zs had no clue about. Gen Alpha created their own space in the English language.
My mom Gen Alpha slang. Bad.
Skibidi.
Best of the best.
Sigma.
Talking a lot.
Yapping.
Stealing.
Phantom tax.
Flirting.
Rizzing.
Trying to look good.
Mewing.
Win.
Big W.
Weird.
Ohio.
Acting weird.
Tweaking.
Stop lying.
Stop the cap.
Gen Alpha has been making headlines for other reasons too. Their love of makeup has sparked a heated debate online, with many criticizing kids as young as 8-year-olds for wearing makeup and ruining the products in Sephora stores.
We're Gen Alpha influencers. Of course, we are obsessed with skincare. We're Gen Alpha influencers. Of course, my favorite stores are Sephora and Ulta.
I really have a problem with the Sephora Kids trend or phenomenon, okay? Number one, the exploitation and commercialization of these children. Number two, the premature exposure to adult content. Number three, the potential or the actual mental health risks of being involved in this beauty industry at such a young age. Number four, the lack of regulations. And number five, the loss of childhood.
It wasn't on anyone's bingo card, but the trad wife trend took TikTok by storm in 2024. The term refers to married women who embrace traditional gender roles. They focus on homemaking, raising children, cooking, and keeping the house in order. The subculture is based on promoting traditional values and has a diverse demographic and a variety of cultural inspirations. With flawless makeup, vintage-inspired outfits, and aprons tied neatly around their waists, trad wives showcase a picture-perfect life. For many influencers, this trend became a ticket to viral fame. But not everyone was impressed. Critics accused trad wives of promoting an unrealistic ideal, claiming it romanticized a lifestyle that's unattainable for most.
These trad wives on social media are going to be the end of y'all. They are selling you a life and a dream that they do not even live. Because to be a traditional wife, your husband is taking care of you 100%. The very fact that they are on social media means what? What class? They have social media money. Means they don't depend on their husband. Means if that husband leaves them today, they will be fine by tomorrow. You have to face the reality that depending on a man finding you attractive for your livelihood and your kids' livelihoods is insane. Every older woman that you will ever talk to that has had that traditional life will tell you what? Get your education, get your degree, get your own money. Please, for the love of God, do not have these influencers that make social media money let you be convinced that a traditional wife or a trad wife life is ideal for you.
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. Also, share with us your opinions on this trad wife phenomenon and all our other stories on the show. See you soon.